December 28th, 1895. In a dark room of the Grand Café de Paris, the Lumières present the first public demonstration for a paying audience of their new invention, the cinématographe. This screening marks the historic debut of the first reliable method to project motion pictures. 9 months prior, on March 22nd, at the Société d'Encouragement pour l'Industrie Nationale, Auguste and Louis Lumière had revealed their cinématographe at a private screening to a group of friends and colleagues. Among those invited are engineer and inventor Léon Gaumont and his 22-year-old secretary, Alice Guy.
Ça m'a paru extraordinaire, ça m'a rempli d'admiration.
C'était la naissance du cinéma.
I've seen in the producing list some very great names, and the strange one, Hugh Hefner.
Il film forse è un po' troppo lungo, tenere il ritmo dopo un'ora e mezza è stancante. Mi dici come hai coinvolto tutti quei produttori? Ho letto persino il nome di Hugh Hefner.
And meaningful subject.
So, Alice's story is an international story, and she had so many different roles. You know, she's a writer, director, producer, editor, head of a studio. It's a lot of roles to be able to explore in the film so people could really understand her as a person. That's number one. Number two, my day job, I work in motion graphics and editing. I do opening title sequences for films. And I had worked with Robert Redford, and I had asked him if he ever heard of her. And he was shocked. He had never heard of her. And he's a huge supporter of women. Obviously, Sundance has been a great platform for women to tell their stories. So he came on board almost immediately. And then Jodie Foster. And these are people that are the visionary people. They can see it right away, so they believed immediately. You have to have a vision when you start something that's small and you have an idea for it to see it through. And then Hugh Hefner came along because people don't know, but in his personal life, he's helped a lot of women documentarians. He's paid for a lot of projects and helped them with books, documentaries, stories, and restoring films. So when he found out about Alice, he became the largest single donor to the project. He's the largest single donor to the project.
Okay.
He gave me money out of his personal wallet.
Great. The movie, it was full of animation.
Dove hai preso ispirazione per la composizione tecnica del film?
She was maybe inspired from someone else.
I do graphics for a living, for movies. So if somebody needs an opening for a film, or sometimes there's a problem with the movie where they're missing story, so I will provide stock footage, editing graphics, and maybe I'll shoot something to help open the film or sections in the film. A lot of problem solving. Logos, etc. So I've been doing it for a while. I've worked on 150 films. You know, I started when I was 12. I've worked on the Academy Awards, you know, music videos, commercials, etc. So taking all of those elements of stock footage, research, archival, design, animation, editorial, those were the tools that I brought with me to make the film.
I read on the 3rd March an article in New York Times.
Il 3 marzo sul New York Times è uscito un articolo dell'opinionista Maureen Dodd dal titolo "Evviva Hollywood senza Harvey". L'articolo chiudeva così: gli uomini mollano la presa sul potere solo quando un'istituzione non è più rilevante, come quando lasciano le donne condurre il telegiornale della sera. E Hollywood, come noi sappiamo, è finita. Cosa pensi di questo?
I think it's a new day. I think this is an exciting time, actually. I think there's a lot of change that's going to happen. I think telling Alice's story is being used, will be used in a positive way to inspire a younger generation to continue to take the torch and to keep going, to inspire with more women's stories, more stories like this that we don't know about in all different industries. And through hard work, passion, and determination, we can expose these things and make a difference, make it more of the norm.
What about money?
E per quanto riguarda i soldi, perché di solito quando le cifre sono molto alte, le donne sono fuori.
Usually. And now?
I think it's definitely changing. I mean, look, I'm completely donation-based. This was not a cheap documentary. It's very expensive. So if I was able to do it, starting with a Kickstarter and to get donors and to keep going, there's so many new ways of getting funding today. It's completely new with social media. There's new ways, and if you do the work, you visualize and you work hard and you look for all these new ways, you should be able to get it done. It's not going to be easy, but anything that you do that's good is not easy.
But I would like to watch and other people like me that are...
Adesso che avete riabilitato la figura storica di Alice, come pensate di rendere accessibili le sue opere?
People.
Absolutely. That's part of the reason why she's not known. Through this documentary, we've not only found films, I've made sure to preserve them because I wanted them to be seen. One of the next things that I'm going to be doing is there's an Alice Guy-Blaché Foundation, and that'll be set up to restore and continue her legacy, and hopefully I can work with the archives to come up with a way where it's accessible and helpful to them financially, but also to get her films out there.